Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar on Anakonda Amazon cruises. I am very happy and pleased to present Diego Garcia today, or introduce Diego Garcia, some of whom you may have met at different travel shows. He is of the family, the Garcia family, who founded Anakonda Amazon Cruises in the Ecuadorian Amazon, the only cruise operation in the Ecuadorian Amazon that sail on the Napo River. His parents, Raul and Martha, they often come and visit us here in the UK, which is great, and in the German-speaking countries as well. So you also may have met them. Diego will give us a presentation about all the details and experiences that Anakonda have to offer, as well as their kind of deep commitment to protecting this environment and relationships with the communities. And then, of course, there will be time for questions afterwards. So please do let us know. So, yeah, over to you, Diego.
Thank you very much, Nicola, and thanks everybody. My warmest regards from Ecuador. I'm based in Quito, actually. And well, I'll start this presentation. As always, we love to share the symbolism of why we do what we do and why we are so passionate about that. So let's get to that. Actually, as Nicola mentioned before, we are the only river cruise company that operates in the Ecuadorian Amazon rainforest. So it's not only that it's an exclusive experience for your guests, but we are the main actors of change within the destination. So this is a big deal for us. I'll share a quick video with you so we can have a first impression of the destination. I don't know who of you have been in Ecuador or in the Amazon rainforest. Of course, there are several countries that share this amazing destination, but imagine that you or your guests are there by themselves in this green lush scenery with so many biodiversity. Of course, one of the main interests of visiting this destination will be wildlife, trying to spot different species of mammals, of birds, of reptiles. And it's with our motorized canoes going through the creeks, how we are able to go to the different destinations. But of course, with the main ships, whether it's the Anaconda or the Manatee. So we have in our experiences lots of places that we visit, and it's part of the advantages of going to remote places with the ships. This allows us to go where nobody else goes and uh, being able to also collaborate with the local communities that remain unique and remain with their traditions. That's the idea of also getting to know the local culture of the Amazon people. So the idea is that all our guests don't feel like they're just going to take pictures of them, but also getting involved, making questions. They are always open to let us into their homes and have these amazing experiences and how they run the conservation programs that we do it on a collaborative way. So there are so many experiences. Just to give you a quick example of how the ships are looking right now, we have a slightly few changes. I will talk about that. But just to have an idea of how the ships look from inside as part of the experience while navigating, while having dinner, lunch, or breakfast, enjoying the navigation, that's also part of the experience. And well, we have four decks. I will go on along explaining all of these, but it's just part of the experience of the navigation, how each vessel operates in different days. Just for this video, we made them to be at the same, be together at that time, but that's just for the video. So let's get to these amazing points. So I think our first pillar is that, as I mentioned before, with our two ships, we are part of generating sustainability within the Ecuadorian Amazon territory with our partners, which are the local communities. We have been working with them, of course, always on a responsible tourism scheme. Actually, my father, he has more than 40 years of experience. Probably you have met him. And he, at the beginning, everything started by sharing. He used to work there on an old ship. He used to be captain of that ship, and that operation ended. But he was so passionate of sharing this dream and being a bridge to connect the Amazonian world with the rest of the world. So that's why he decided to build his own ships to be part of this change and conservation within the territory. And now we're able to support lots of communities. A part of this supporting is through education. We provide some scholarships to the children. We provide some items for them to study as well. But it's not only that. It's part of our sustainability vision is also to do more and work collaborative with the local communities in preservation of some of the amazing species that we have here, like the Pink River dolphin or the Charapa turtle. That is part of the conservation programs that we have with the local communities. Also, another way of doing sustainability within the region is hiring local people. So 70% of our crew members are local people. And this also is part of doing the change because when we visit a community, some of the guests realize that our crew member are talking maybe to their brothers or to their sisters or to their relatives. And this is something really interesting each time we visit different of the destinations of the itineraries. At the end, what we really intend, and it's part of another important pillar, is that we are always committed to provide an excellent service on board and that our guests get a really, really great experience, not only for visiting this unique ecosystem, but also feeling the heart warm of the local people, so welcoming our crew members, and of course, intending to spot as much as wildlife as we can. So, why cruising the Ecuadorian Amazon rainforest? Well, there are a few explanations, but this is one of the main advantages that we have here within the Ecuadorian Amazon rainforest. We have the Yasuní National Park, which is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. It was designated by UNESCO as a World Biosphere Reserve. And just to give you a sense of how biodiverse this place is, if you combine the territories of the United States and Canada combined, it could be the same amount of bird species that we can find there within Ecuador. And in the Amazon territory, we have over 50% of that. So it's just to give you some of these fun facts of how many species of birds we can see there, about 650. There are lots of species of mammals, of reptiles. And in terms of plants, it's amazing. We are constantly understanding that this ecosystem is in a constant evolution and it will take us ages to identify all the species. But just to give you another sense of how pristine and special is this place, about 3 months ago, we discovered a new species of frog within the Yasuní National Park. There are a few research stations that are doing this job, and it's also interesting to share this information with you. Another interesting fact, probably most of you have been in Ecuador or understand where Ecuador is, which is a small country. And it has some interesting benefits of being in a small country because it takes you just a few minutes or hours to get to the different areas. From Quito, the capital, to the Amazon, we go to Coca, that is the main city where we operate. It's just a 25 to 30-minute flight. So it's really, really short flight, and it's part of your guests enjoying the experience and not losing themselves on the logistics. Sometimes when you go to a different or remote country, the idea is that you want to appreciate as much as possible every second and enjoy the experience. So here it gets really, really fast going to the Amazon, only in a 25 or 30-minute flight. And also there's a plan B, just so you can know, in case, there are weather conditions or something related with the aircraft, we can take a ground service that it will take about 5 hours, 5 hours and 30 minutes. So your guests are able to continue their itinerary and don't miss anything. So this is really important for you to know. Let's get now to the ships. Of course, within our branding, we have Anaconda Amazon Cruises with the two ships, Anaconda and the Manatee. So they are quite similar, although the Anaconda is bigger, Manatee is a little bit smaller. Here we have the itinerary. So remember, from Quito to Coca, only a 25-minute flight. As soon as we land in Coca's airport, it will take us about 5-minute transfer to get to the pier. Once in the pier, we have our VIP lounge where our guests are able to go to the bathroom, enjoy some snacks, and we have air conditioning, Wi-Fi, just last time to be within the civilization until we handle all the luggage. Once all the luggage is in the canoes, then we get with our guests on the motorized canoes from Coca, and we go downstream through the Napo River. It will take us about 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, depending on the weather conditions or the level of the river. And then we will embark whether to the Anaconda or the Manatee in the area of Providencia. We have a port here, but the idea is that our guests will embark while the ship is navigating. So it's part of the experience. We offer 3 nights, 4 nights, and 7 nights itineraries in both ships on the Manatee and in the Anaconda. Here you can see on the red line, here it starts the 4 days, 3 nights itinerary until Pañacocha. This will be the farthest point we will reach on the 4 days, 3 nights. And the idea is to visit all the highlights that we have on this territory. Then from the same spot where the ship is, till the border with Peru on the blue line, we get to the 5 days, 4 nights itinerary, and the combination of both allows us to offer an 8 day, 7 nights itinerary. So you will probably say, oh, probably the Napo River is a short river. It's not too long, but actually it's quite long. But the idea is that one of the advantages of being in Ecuador on the Amazon is that we're the most accessible and the first portion of the Amazon that descends from the Andes region. So what this really means is that we have constant water of the different meltings of the volcanoes and glaciers that we have in the Andes region, and also constant rain. Also, we have the slope that is generated through the mountains and descending to the Amazon. So this through gravity, it gives a lot of strength to the current of the river. And that's why we're able to cover all the red line in 6 hours and all the blue line in 12 hours. And then it will take us the following days to go back to the same spot. That's more or less how it works in the different itineraries, although the Manatee operates from Friday to Monday and Monday to Friday, and the Anaconda from Sunday to Wednesday and Wednesday to Sunday. Yes, so that just to give you an idea of how our itineraries work. I'll start with the Manatee, which it was launched in 2018. It has a capacity for 28 guests in 14 suites. It has a contemporary interior design and a concept of a luxury adventure expedition vessel. Here we go. So you can have an idea of the different categories. These are the standard suites, which we have 10 of them and are located on the second deck. They have private balconies, a panoramic view, air conditioning system, and they are quite big, about 20 square meters. And then we have the deluxe suites, which we have four of them and are located on the third deck. Also, private balconies, panoramic view, a private whirlpool within the bathroom, and air conditioning system as well. They have 24 square meters. And as you can see, the concept of the ship, it doesn't matter in which area of the ship you are, you have big windows. So it doesn't matter where you're always to be able to connect with the Amazon to spot wildlife from the ship. On our foredeck, we have a big jacuzzi here, some lazy chairs also to enjoy navigation. It's a great place to spot for bird watchers. Is really, really interesting. Some of the birds also fly along the ship. We have the panoramic view restaurant. We have local and international cuisine as well. And now let's get to the Anaconda. Uh, Anaconda was built in 2013, but we recently renovate all of the engines, the motors, generators. We changed everything as we wanted to adapt to the post-COVID era, and we have changed most of the. As soon as we finish production on the following month, we will be sharing with you some of the updates of the Anaconda. So it has a focus of a luxury expedition vessel. As you resemble, we used to had 18 suites, capacity for 36 guests. Now we have reduced the amount of cabins on the Anaconda. Now we have only 16 suites and can accommodate up to 32 guests. So the idea was to reduce the amount of suites to offer some additional services like the gym, a spa service, and have bigger and ample suites. So here we have um, the standard suites, which we have 12 of them located on the second deck as well, with a French balcony, a panoramic view, air conditioning system, quite similar to the Manatee, but bigger. And we have also four deluxe suites, which are on the third deck. As you can see, private balcony, a panoramic view as well. And well, most of the difference of the deluxe will be that it has a private balcony, it has a whirlpool within the bathroom, and of course, some special amenities that comes with them. Then the same idea from the crystal room or our conference room. Doesn't matter in which area of the ship you are always uh, having the possibility to spot wildlife and enjoy navigation. So we're always running into the small details and taking all care of our guests. We have a menu a la carte at the Anaconda, which guests are able to choose from different options every day. So how it works, our meals, we have buffet for breakfast, and lunch and dinner are served to choose from the different options of the menu a la carte. Some of the interesting experiences we offer additionally, and we're the only ones offering this, is the glamping experience. So for those guests who want to spend some time off the ship for one night, we can totally fix that. The chef comes along and also prepares a special meal for them. Of course, we have another chef on board, so everybody is able to have their meals. And we include a dinner and breakfast in this additional experience that has an additional cost. It could be for some guests celebrating something special, starting from two guests, but maximum eight guests, because we wanted to remain it as a intimate and exclusive experience that we are offering for this glamping. And the idea is also to share with the local communities, with the guide that will be there, some of the crew members, and sharing some of the stories of the Amazon, maybe some of the legends, and of course doing additional activities like night walk or kayaking as well early in the morning, and then the following day they just join the rest of the group. This special activity, the glamping experience, can only be offered on the 4 nights or in the 7 nights. We don't offer it on the 3 nights because it's too short the trip to consider this glamping experience. But if your guests are interested, just let us know in advance so we can fix a departure for the glamping experience that we always want to know this so we can have everything prepared. So once you go to the Amazon, remember this is a sensorial destination. You're able to have lot of sounds, lot of colors, smell different things, humidity, touch, all the different textures that you have there. But we often say that you get the possibility to develop another sense that is when you get to understand how the local peoples live there, the simple way of life, how we are supposed to reconnect and detox from our daily lives. uh, so we invite all our guests to become a native, to be part of the community, to share their experience through their learnings, of course, their traditions as well. Why not helping them maybe grinding the cassave or gathering some of the crops, sharing some of the stories of maybe of what they have been spotting the days before. Also, their interesting delicacies that they have within the Amazon, maybe trying the chontakuro worm or some fish or some green plantain or yuca as well. So it's really, really nice delicacies that they share with us as well. And of course, remember, this is a hostile environment in which animals have to hide to survive. So they tend to mimicry and develop, have adapted to these ecosystems to survive. So it gets a little bit challenging for us to spot wildlife because we're not used to it. However, with the experience and help with the local guides, which have an amazing trained eye to spot the different birds, or they are so knowledgeable about understanding the ecosystem and reading, the behavior or maybe which leaves they used to eat. So probably they will be on that tree. There's a lot of information that we will provide your guests so they don't only get the chance to spot the wildlife, but also to understand the different ecosystems where we travel. We also have night walks, different animals that we can spot at nighttime, of course, climbing some interesting observation canopy towers, getting like 50 meters canopy, K-pop tree, different point of view where you are able to see a 360 degrees view from that area. So it's really, really nice. And of course, you're able to spot some different wildlife from that perspective as well. Maybe some monkeys, some birds. And I wanted to show you just some of different wildlife that we can appreciate there, some deer, also some of the highlights, spotting an anaconda maybe, some of the different reptiles, caimans, aquatic mammals. And I wanted to stop here to show you this quick video, which we just uh, had the possibility from the ship, from the Anaconda. We were on board the Anaconda and we were able to spot a big delegacy
We're gonna go
of
back.
capybaras. So we were here on board, and I just record this so you can have the real interaction of what happened there. So, of course, they were a little bit far, but from this other video, uh, you will be able to see them from a closer perspective, and it was amazing. Everybody was just amazed, and I think it's one of the main difference of spending your time within the Ecuadorian Amazon, where the river is not that big. It's actually a little bit narrow, and that gives the possibility to even spot wildlife from the big
Vimos
ship.
6 o 7
So
capibaras.
this is some of the main differences of why going to the Ecuadorian Amazon rainforest. Also, since we're the only river cruises operating here, is an exclusive destination, an exclusive experience. Maybe in other portions of the Amazon, you have lots of options, but there are too many options. And here is just taking advantage of having everything for you. Maybe it's going for kayaking adventures, or why not swimming with piranhas and breaking these Hollywood myths that piranhas eat people. And here's just a fun fact. Actually, they have sharp teeth to break the seeds that fall into the shore of the river. So that's the real explanation of why they have sharp teeth, and not to break the flesh of humans. That's just too much Hollywood. And of course, after all these amazing experiences of board, we come back and share all the moments. Um, why not having cooking classes on board and taking recipes back home? We also provide some Amazon lectures. So the idea is that our guests really become experts in the Amazon destination. And what I really mean is that they don't only get to visit the different places that we visit during their itinerary, but also to get more knowledge and understand the different cultures, where do they come from, how is the Amazon. um it's a really curious destination because you have different aquatic mammals like pink river dolphins, you have manatees. How are these uh, marine wildlife that they were supposed to be marine? How are they? How do they got stuck within the Amazon? So different explanations. For always, there's a lot of questions that they are not able to do what they are doing the excursion. So once on board, they are able to do the different questions of how they was the behavior of certain animal, or how to spot them, or how to take better pictures of them. So we help them with all these Amazon lectures. At the end, all our guests become an Amazonaut. So what this really means is that we provide them a certificate that they have supported the communities that we work with. They have supported conservation programs that are involved in our itineraries, and that they have done the route of the first explorer that was Francisco de Orellana, that discovered the Amazon portion. So it's just that they will become an Amazon ambassador, because once you get to know the destination, now you're able to be conscious about how all the planet is connected, and how this amazing ecosystem, which is the Amazon, also helps the entire planet to purify air, to connect all the entire world. So it's just part of how we're able to enjoy navigation, enjoy a lot of friendships on board, and of course, everybody just becoming an Amazonaut or an Amazon ambassador. Just for you guys to know, we're having some specials of our itineraries. We can also do charters and events. I showed this amazing picture because I think once you coordinated a wedding on board, I think you can do everything. I always like to share this picture. Also, my father, he's Raul, he's in the picture. He was performing the ceremony. So just to give you an idea of how we can get into the small details with your guests. Some other specials is that we have some selected departures from June to December. You can have advantage of these selected departures on the Manatee, up to 20% off in the second guest, and in the Anaconda 30% off on the second guest. You can also combine this amazing experience going to the Amazon with Galapagos. So probably this is a really interesting package to offer, whether if you have some additional services, or you can also do it through us. We can totally accommodate, whether if it's a river cruise and another cruise in the Amazon, or a lodge. So we are starting to have also these type of experiences where you enjoy two of the natural wonders of the world, the Amazon and Galapagos, and of course, getting to the Andes where Quito is, and start to know some of the local culture and the Andean culture as well. As you know, Ecuador has these four worlds in one country: the coast, the Andes region, the Galapagos, and of course the Amazon rainforest, which offers a complete experience within one country. Sometimes people consider to do countries at the same time, but it's not enough time. And when you are trying to go to a remote place like going to South America, considering Ecuador, it will be a really, really good option since you have a lot of things to offer, different ecosystems, different cultures, authentic cultures. And of course, remember, Ecuador is a small country but has a short distance to connect and do all logistics. So we take care of all the details, always monitoring every guest, whether it's the flight, and just so you can have an idea of some of our quality seals and part of our associations. If you are heading to some of these different trade shows, please let us know because we will also love to catch up during our meetings or even coordinate a training that we will probably do it through Senderos. So I think that will be everything for today. Thank you very much for the time, for your attention. I don't know if there are any questions, anything I can help you go through, or if you have something that wasn't clear enough. Let me know, please.
Great. Thanks so much, Diego. That was fantastic. Really fantastic overview of Anaconda Amazon cruises and all the right kind of stuff. I really loved the video of the capybaras. I hadn't seen that before, so that's really nice to see, and it's so good to see that everyone enjoying the capybaras there. Um, Now, do we have any questions? Lots of people have had to, a few people have had to jump off, but I'm just wondering
Right.
when we've got any. Will you participate in remote in Brazil in October? Are you going to remote?
No, unfortunately, we're
You
not
went
going.
to Antigua, didn't
We
you?
just went to Antigua, but we
Yeah.
will be next year in Panama at remote. Yes.
Yeah, and I hope to be there too. So yeah, we can present it together. Why is
Right.
there no? Why are there no other cruise operators in the Amazon?
Okay, that's a great question. And well, part of that is that it's not an easy destination to operate. My father, which he started the company a lot of years ago, he has the experience and he also has adapted the construction of the ships were especially designed to require only 1 meter of water to navigate. So remember, as the Napo River descends from the Andes portion, it has a lot of sedimentation that is bringing constantly through the river. So that is not that deep as you probably could experience in other portions of the Amazon, maybe in Peru or in Brazil. But here in Ecuador is a little bit shallow. So we are only, the ships only require 1 meter of water to navigate. And this can also be a really interesting and competitive advantage because we're able to operate all year round and the same itinerary. So this is really helpful. We don't have uh, since we are also in the equator line, and it's some of the advantages of being in the middle of the world, we don't have drastic climate change, but here we have constant water from the melting of the glaciers and constant rain as well. So this idea is that we always have enough water and able to provide the same itinerary, which in other portions of the Amazon, you have to change itineraries, whether if it's the rain, the wet season or the dry season. So for you guys, it's easier to sell the same itinerary for your guests. Sometimes it's difficult for them to understand that because of the special season or something, you have to change to another itinerary. So this is always come in handy. Thank you
Great,
for
thank
the
you.
question.
Got a couple more questions, but I know people will have to leave quite soon. So, the additional costs for glamping experience. Do you know what they are off the back of your?
Yes, it's about 500 per guest for this additional experience. Yes.
And it's for one night, and you can book it in advance, ideally.
Yes,
Um,
that would be ideally so we can have everything ready. And remember, this will only be offered for the 4 nights or 7 nights. itineraries.
Yeah, and actually talking about 4 night and 7 night itineraries, um, Lou has asked wildlife. What's the difference in wildlife between the 3 night versus 4 and 7 night itineraries? Is it better to get into the Yasuni? Does 4 night begin in the same spot but sail non-stop to Panacocha before beginning the excursions? So whilst you're doing that, so basically, yeah, the 4 night and 7 night are the ones that go all the way down to the border with Peru, and you do
Right.
get to just see more. I mean, I think 3 nights are for people who really have a limited amount of time. You don't get to see the pink river dolphins on the 3 night, but you do on the 4 night and 7 night. Um,
Right.
is
I
there a
just shared
minimum
the
age? And is there a minimum age for clients,
yes,
Diego?
we recommend from starting from 6 years.
6 years,
That
yeah.
will be the minimum age for any child on board. And it's because we really want everyone to be focused on the experience and especially their parents as well, everyone enjoying. And of course, have to be silent during the walk so the wildlife or any animals are not afraid of visiting them. And just to add something of the itinerary, which I just shared the screen,
Yeah.
uh, answering the differences of the itineraries. So as Nicola mentioned, of course, uh, going through the 5 days, 4 nights, we are able to get until the border with Peru and to the remotest places. However, either itinerary, remember, we will always be bordering the Yasuni National Park, so always possibility to spot wildlife. We cannot guarantee any animal, but we always get the chance to spot them because it's a healthy ecosystem. Actually,
Mm.
something interesting that happened a few months ago when we had elections, Ecuadorians were able to decide if they wanted to continue drilling oil or not. And the not drilling oil won. So that's a huge and part of what we are standing by of how we are able to offer sustainability through tourism with our operation and how we're able to provide amazing experiences. The thing to connect here within or to experience is the different cultures that will be the difference as well in different itineraries. So on the 5 days, 4 nights, since we're able to go to remote places, we're able to visit the sequoias that they usually are in the border with Peru. And then we visit a Quichua family, whether in the 4 days, 3 nights, we visit a Quichua community. So
Mm.
it's just part of understanding the way of life of the different tribes that live within the Amazon.
I was still really impressed by the amount of wildlife I saw on the 3 night itinerary, and we were
Yes.
busy every day doing different kind of wildlife spotting trips. So whether it was hiking, kayaking, or a boat trip, and the guides were just excellent. So your guides are all local, and they have grown up in the area. They know how to spot animals, and they love
Right.
doing it. It's in their DNA, really. It's where they've lived their whole lives, and they love sharing that with people. So yeah, there is still a good amount of wildlife watching to be done on the 3 nights.
Right. And also we visit the Pañacocha, that is
Yeah,
this lake in the middle, and that's a biological corridor through the Yasuni as well.
and is that
So
where the 4 night trip starts from? Because you go all the way to Panacocha.
no, so what we do is we go through, so we start on the red line, get until Pañacocha, and then we go back on the following days
Yes,
till
but that's the
Sicily.
3 night one. But the
Yeah.
4 night, you
And the
go all
four
the way.
night also starts where it says Pompeya,
Yeah,
and then we continue all downstream till the border with Peru.
and
And
then you
then we take
continue
the
back up
following
again.
days
Yeah,
back. Yes.
yeah, right. Um, yeah, so not generally no pink river dolphins on the 3 nights because they tend to
Yes.
live further south,
Right. The conservation
downstream.
program that we have of pink river dolphins is in the Cocaya region. As you can
Right.
see, it actually is in the Aguarico River.
Okay.
So during the years, we have been able to repopulate and recover the amount of pink dolphins that we have in this area. And now, on the last census in this place, we were able to spot about 15 pink dolphins. And it has been a big success because at the beginning we started only with 3 members. And
Yeah,
now
amazing.
after 11 years, we have the population has increased to 15, and they are open in the river. So
Yeah,
they're not in captivity, and there are some possibilities to spot sometimes in Pañacocha, but only it is not that common.
yeah,
Mainly it's in the border here within the Hatuncocha Lake,
cool.
right in this area.
Thanks, Diego. Does the
Mhm.
manatee also have an a la carte lunch and dinner menu? Are there certain guests who would recommend to take the manatee versus the anaconda?
Right, another good question. So we also have a menu. All the ships offer a breakfast, a buffet breakfast, but lunch and dinner served. However, on the Anaconda, you're able to have different options to choose from the menu. Whether in the Manatee, you have only two options. Either ship, we also cover an additional option for vegetarian or vegan. So if you have any guests who had any specific diet or allergy, please let us know in advance so we can provide everything for our expert chefs that will especially take care of those menus as well. And it will be part of the difference of the anaconda and the manatee, not only in size, but also on the rates. We will be sharing with you also the rates, but anaconda is more expensive because of the different services that we have on board, like a concierge, the different options to choose from the menu, also the spa service, the gym, and the concierge who will be always taking care of any special interest that you have or your guests have. If there are any bird watchers, for example, and they want to do a separate activity, we can uh, coordinate that with our expedition leader there.
Great. So the Anaconda offers a slightly more personalized service, with concierge, a la carte menu, kind of pitched at the slightly upper market. But both boats are very comfortable with the same,
Yes.
like
Both.
large lounge area, views, really comfortable cabins, air conditioning, all of that. So if you have clients that can't do a kind of Sunday or a Wednesday, but they can do a Friday or a Monday, then don't think you're kind of downselling necessarily. It's just a slightly different experience.
Right.
Um,
That's a good thing. The other difference will be the days of operation, and maybe if they plan to connect something, maybe going to Galapagos or something, they could consider the different
yeah,
days
exactly.
of operation as well.
Great. I think that's everybody's questions, unless anyone has any more. Um,
Mm.
but
Some
thank you
of the
very much.
frequent some of the frequent questions that they recently asked us also is that if it's required to be vaccinated to enter to the Ecuadorian Amazon, and the answer is no.
Okay.
No, we don't require any vaccines to access or to enter Ecuador. The only the only warning is if they come from the Peruvian or from Colombia or from
And yellow
Bolivia.
fever, right?
Yes, for the yellow fever,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I
But
think all tour operators have been given that piece of
yes,
news recently. So everybody's prepared. But yeah, it's good. No malaria tablets are needed, and not too many vaccinations apart from yellow fever.
yeah,
But thanks,
exactly.
yeah, thanks so much, Diego. That's been really, really helpful. And yeah, as I said, I'll send that on to everyone with all the questions. And yeah, let us know if you'd like to get in touch with Diego and his family for any more questions, and likewise with myself. But yeah, just leaves me to say thanks very much and hopefully see you soon.
Yes, thank you everybody for your time, for your patience, and always wanting to learn more from this amazing destination. As a family, we invite you to join us anytime for a fam trip if you want to come. It will be really great that you can experience firsthand of this destination, and of course, sharing with the locals and enjoying the different wildlife that we have in this Ecuadorian Amazon rainforest. Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thanks, Diego.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Diego.